Hello War of the Visions fans, I'm Jackie Fox. Welcome to a video concept that's been 2 months in the making. I wanted to be able to fully test out both the benefits and the repeatability of the comeback rewards. Because especially if you came back during 5th anniversary, you basically got a free team. The new player rewards or the 5th anniversary rewards are essentially 3 brand new characters. You actually get more with the new player rewards, but they give you less new characters, unless they've updated that since the last time I checked it out to cover it. But the benefits for coming back to the game are, among other things, and we'll talk a little bit about the other things, but the biggest part is twofold. So one thing that kind of carries over from the new player rewards, which is a special 10 summons on a current event banner. This, as far as I'm aware, this only really happens if you start playing during a collaboration or if you come back during a collaboration. Most of the times that I have received comeback over rewards, because I've tried this out like 4 or 5 times in the last couple of months, across a couple of different accounts, obviously, for reasons that we'll talk about a little bit later. But only one of them, I think, actually lined up with a collaboration that didn't already have something like this, because I did do comeback during Final Fantasy Tactics on a couple of accounts, but they didn't have, from what I recall, like an extra collaboration related bonus, because that collaboration already had a free 10 pull per day. But this could influence exactly when you want to time your comeback. Another thing you want to think about if you're thinking about using this as a way to get 3 free vision card pulls and potentially, hopefully, 3 free Esper pulls as well, or at least 2 free Esper pulls, maybe a holo vision card that doesn't have an Esper, because you can get some pretty new stuff off of this banner. And actually, let me back up. I may have just said free. I think it's like 6k viz, but like 2k viz per level 99 vision card. I didn't mention that either. This is a pretty excellent way to get yourself going in this game. And if you have never done the comeback rewards, let's talk about how to plan when to do them. So you need to be out of the game for about 14 days. I usually do 15 just to be sure. I would hate to come back a day early and on some technicality not get the reward. So I usually do 15 days. And when I say 15 days, I mean like I can check in game and see my account has been inactive for 15 days. That's how I know I'm over the line. But I also try to time that to be about the 3rd, 13th, or 23rd of the month. And there's a really specific reason for that maybe you haven't considered. If you are an active player, if you're the kind of person who has never got the comeback rewards because you play very regularly, or at least you've played regularly recently, then you're probably also someone who's collecting Day of the Visions tokens. If you do this on like the 3rd or the 4th day of the 10-day cycle, you only miss 1 Day of the Visions. But if you say, go away on the 15th, maybe you can come back on the 30th. If you go away on the 16th, you know, you're going to miss both the 20th and the 30th. So, depending on what day you time it, and there's only a couple days that this can really start without missing 2, without having to miss 2. But you can line it up pretty easily so that you only miss 1 of the Day of the Visions rewards. Personally, I think that's kind of important. But considering this new information, you also want to try to time yourself to be 14 days out from a collaboration event. And the reason for that is that these 10 free pulls that you get also come with summon tokens. This means that for whatever event you're coming back in, you get a baseline 1,000 tokens in addition to 10 pulls. You might actually not have to pity the character. You may just get them for free. There's a similar process with the new player rewards, and when I was doing the new player rewards, I managed to pull Cloud in about 5 pulls during Final Fantasy VII Advent Children. So while I did the comeback recently for Yuna and kind of went through this process for her, I did still have to do an additional 10 pulls to go to pity for her. But usually that would take 20 pulls. This cuts that in half. This means you only need about 17,000 viz to pull this off, because of the way that the 4-step, or colloquially known as the 8-step banner, works. Because the first 2 steps are on each run of the 4-step are discounted by 1,000 and 500 respectively. So you save 3,000 total. You can do 10 pulls for 17K. So for 17K, you can pity, worst case scenario, because again, you're getting 10 free pulls, one of the new collaboration characters. So if you line this all up right, you've only missed 1 day of the visions. If this is your first comeback, then you're getting a super discount on 3 vision cards, potentially even 3 espers, even up to stuff like from the up to maybe like the last couple of months, right? You can get some fairly recent vision cards on here, but nothing that's on banner now or recently. But still, pretty new stuff, pretty good stuff you're going to want to build out your account. There are a number of other bonuses, such as half energy costs. There's also an increase to the amount of shards that you get. It'll actually increase it, I think, from 1 shard per run to 5. So that's plus 4 shards on all of your hard quest runs. The interesting thing about this is I've done comeback during other events that have boosted the amount of shards that you get, say by like 200%. So an event where most people are getting 3 shards per run on hard quests, someone doing comeback would be getting a total of 7. Now, if you're thinking about this alone isn't really enough to make it worth it to be skipping 2 weeks. You're not really going to come out ahead on shards because you take every 2 weeks off. And this is probably one of the biggest repeatable bonuses other than free summons. There are other smaller benefits as well, but these are really the ones that are worth talking about, or at least that don't cost paid viz. Because there are some potentially recurring banners that cost paid viz. It could just be that I didn't buy them the first time I did the comeback. But the one thing that doesn't come back with repeated use of the comeback system is the level 99 vision card banners. Once you've expended those, you can't just quit for another 2 weeks and then come back and do that all again. Also worth noting that all of these added bonuses only last for 7 days after you come back. And if you're wondering how you can get one pull per day for 7 days and get 10 free pulls, they'll give you 3 free pull tickets as well as a part of the rewards for daily login during those 7 days. So it does work out to be a total of 10, at least for collaborations. Although I'm pretty sure that there's also some like free 10 pulls with maybe like 100 cost UR unit tickets that come with this too. And there's daily login rewards that might help catch you up on resources a bit. So just to reiterate, the comeback system has a special bonus mode during collaborations. So if you can come back during the week or one of the follow-up weeks for collaboration, I mean, I came back technically, I think, either during the Riku week or like just shortly after it, but because the collaboration was still running, it was still giving me the free unipulls. So you have like a pretty big window actually to hit a collaboration on when you're doing comeback. But really, the biggest bonus, the thing that makes it the most worth it to try this at least once, to give yourself some time off for the holidays or whatever, is those guaranteed level 99 vision card pulls. This is essentially the vision card version of the 5th anniversary free pulls, and similarly has a pretty positive effect for your count. In fact, maybe even a longer lasting effect in some ways than getting some great units. Because, look, the original vision cards that they've released are still pretty damn good for the most part. All I'm saying. But when you also consider that that is one part of the bonuses that never regenerates, there's not really any purpose to taking every 2 weeks of the game off. You're not really going to be coming out ahead that way. I mean, sure, it may free up some of your time, and the comeback rewards that do recuperate will help make up some of the losses from taking 2 weeks off. So I think, this allows you to take a brief, maybe mental health or just vacation from the game, allow you to enjoy a couple weeks off with your family for the holidays or like whatever you want to do without feeling incredibly guilty that you're going to be way behind everyone else. But again, when I was talking about this originally on Reddit, there was somebody who was like trying to theory craft how to abuse this system, and I don't think it really works like that. Because the benefit of this that is most abusable is also the one that doesn't recover in between. Really, what's left once you remove that, at least, doing the comeback into a collaboration, again, seems like a pretty cool added bonus that actually does potentially recuperate. But, I think that more affects the timing of when you do it rather than being something that makes you take 2 weeks off before every collaboration, or maybe even take the first 2 weeks of a collaboration off. That way you don't even have to watch the JP side. You can just see the collaboration hit, know that it's going to be around for like the next 42, 45 days or something, and just say, okay, well, taking the first 15 of those days off, I'm going to come back. I'm going to get 10 free pulls, and then if I want to commit another 17,000 viz, I can get one of the collaboration units before it's over. That maybe is the only thing that gives this any sort of repeatability to most players, I would say. Because, this isn't necessarily a system that you're going to be farming. I do think it's a nice added bonus. It's kind of a nice extra bonus. It's something that probably every account should do once just for the free vision cards. Like, you have to be a super whale to really not have a couple of vision cards that you could want off of this. So if you haven't tried the system before, sure, take a couple weeks off for the holidays, relax for a little bit, and come back in 15 days and see how it goes. And hopefully, maybe even like look at what's going on the JP side, because there's a Final Fantasy V collaboration coming up relatively soon. Maybe in like a week from when I'm recording this, maybe in the first week of January, if you take 15 days off, you'll come in right at the beginning of Final Fantasy V and get your free 10 pulls to go for like Gilgamesh or X-Death, or maybe even just get Ferris on the way. But outside of those things, I think that really the benefits are just here to make it feel a little less bad to take some time off every once in a while. Just remember that you have to do it for at least 14 days to get credit. So just taking a couple days off, not really going to get you the reward. Hopefully my experimentation with this system means that you don't have to waste a couple months of your life trying to figure out if this system is worth it for you to utilize more than once, because in most cases, it probably really isn't. But if you can line it up with a collaboration, and you can line it up in such a way that you don't miss multiple days of the visions, well, it's not bad. And if it helps you get some of your life and free time back, maybe it gives you some time to cram for a test or a promotion or life goal, insert life goal here, that's great. But it's not some magical way to get ahead on the game in and while putting out less effort or anything. It's not a way to min-max your rewards necessarily, the way that I think some people were hoping it would be, especially when they saw how good the rewards were for the first time. Also, I didn't attempt to do this like back to back. I didn't take 14 days off, run the full week that I'm getting the bonus rewards, and then go back off. I actually waited another 2 or 3 weeks after that, so that it would be more like 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off. I would imagine, I mean, you're going to play the 7 days to get the rewards, that's why you took the time off, right? But I would imagine that they probably want you to play for at least a week or two before it really counts towards another comeback. It might not be that way. And hey, if you've experienced it not being that way, if you can tell me a little bit more about that. Again, the way I tested this was like 14 days on, 14 days off, 14 days on, 14 days off, just to test how quickly I could re-trigger the system within what I thought was a reasonable time frame. But if you can do it faster than that, I don't think that's necessarily super helpful for anybody, but let me know in the comments. Also, like and subscribe. Know that sometimes making contents about video games, especially like games that involve war and fighting and battle and characters with shoot things, can be a little bit troublesome for the way that the YouTube algorithm recommends us. So go ahead and click that bell to make sure that you get notified about the newest War of the Visions ideas that have popped out of my head. And with all that being said, if you want to support the channel even further than that, you can look on Patreon or Ko-fi for Jackie Fox. No space, no underscore, just Jackie Fox. And send me $1 or $2, or maybe even a recurring donation. That'd be cool. You can also check out Amazon.com. I think you've heard of it. I have several books published there. Just look for science fiction or fantasy. There is someone who's written some nonfiction under my name, apparently. I think you'll know that's not me, though. They have better SEO than me. It is eternally annoying that they come up first in the search results. But you'll find my books, and honestly, that's my favorite way to receive support. It really just, it's not a lot of money, honestly. Like, Amazon kind of rips me off, but it makes me feel good. It makes me feel successful in life goal kind of way. Nice little hit of dopamine. So pick up one of my books today. Make me feel a hit of dopamine. I'd appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching. And with all that being said, I'll see you in the next one.